You know, a lot of podcasters that I've listened to over the past couple of weeks have made one specific thing a talking point when talking about WWE. Some people are very hard on the product, like me, and some usually try to find some level of logic as to why we are getting such shitty television. Some just outwardly are afraid to talk anything negative, and they're always trying to find more positive than negative. But it is very difficult to find more positive than negative nowadays with WWE, and anybody with a brain should be able to realize that. Everyone's talking about the rigorous WWE schedule, how torturous it is for the entertainers and the wrestlers themselves. You know, I understand how difficult it could be. I would never want to go through the scheduling that they have to go through with the time away from their families. I would never want to endure that. So I honestly, I feel for them in that aspect. But what does that have to do with the creative writing of this show? What does that have to do with how this show is presented every single week? You do realize that when you watch Monday Night Raw, that there is no energy behind this show. None. Nobody cares. It comes off as nobody cares. It feels lifeless. It feels flat. It feels lethargic. The shows are bad. The shows are bad. Creative writing should always be a constant. Instead of booking week to week to merely get by, why are we feeling this way every single week? It's because the creative writing is fucking miserable. There's nothing on these shows that you genuinely care about. I mean, look at what they're giving you on Monday nights. How could you sit there? How could some people sit there on social media and defend this trash? I guess everybody is okay with a Roman versus Jinder feud. Neither man are in Money in the Bank, but they're going to have a match one-on-one at Money in the Bank. Do you know how fucking terrible that is? Really? Bobby Lashley, a failure. Bobby Roode, a failure. WWE mishandling their tag teams. I couldn't give a single fuck about any tag team on this show. Braun Strowman, what the fuck happened? It's unreal how people just sit there and try to find more positive than negative. They're afraid to speak of the negatives on this show. That London crowd last night, that's the first thing in my notes. Shitty London crowd. That London crowd last night was one of the worst London crowds I have ever heard. Now, obviously, the show is to blame. What is there to be overly excited about? I understand. I understand that WWE doesn't roam through your neck of the woods all that often through the calendar year. I understand. But if you're going to go to these shows, then make some fucking noise. Have a good time. And some people who tweeted me that are fans of the podcast, that are viewers of the channel, you tweeted me saying, JD, I was there. It was loud as fuck. That's another problem with these fucking shows. I don't know what crowd I'm going to get. WWE fucking manipulates everything. I hate WWE taped Raws. I hate them. I hate them with a fucking undying passion. It's because WWE has all this time in the world before the show actually airs here in the States on the USA Network, and they could fuck with the sound levels. I don't know if I'm getting a genuine Roman reaction during a tape show. For all I know, WWE edited it and took out the majority of what makes a Roman appearance even fucking entertaining. I love hearing the man booed. But with a tape show, WWE has time to manipulate that and give you something that they want to give you instead of giving us what really happened. I hate tape shows. They feel lazy. On top of the writing already being lazy, they feel like shit throwaway shows. Every single time, without fail. And I can expect the same from SmackDown Live tonight. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. Two guys, Seth Rollins more notably, but Kevin Owens always entertaining in his own right. Seth Rollins continues to be the best thing on Monday Night Raw, possibly in all of the WWE. His match with Kevin Owens last night, very, very good television match for the Intercontinental Championship. I did mention on Off the Script, WWE and their management and their creative writing has a tendency to take a decent idea and fucking take a baseball bat and beat it to fucking smithereens. They beat it into the fucking ground until it is stale, boring, and fucking nobody wants to see it. That's what they're doing with this open challenge. The open challenge worked when John Cena did it, and everybody loved it. It was the best thing about it because of who John Cena was and the fact that the U.S. Championship at that moment, in that time, desperately needed some attention. And it opened up the floodgates to new talent and new matches vying for the championship and going against John Cena. It actually opened John Cena up to working a different style with many different opponents. It worked then. Then all of a sudden we started seeing with every new champion. Bobby Roode tried to have a glorious open challenge. Now Seth Rollins is trying to have an open challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah, I get it. You want to be a fighting champion. Back in the day, they didn't have such things as open championships or open challenges. You had to work to get a fucking championship match. What's with these open challenges? Especially for the Intercontinental Championship. I understand it every now and then when you really don't have anything going on for said champion. But it's Seth fucking Rollins. The guy is the best thing on television right now. If you can't book for Seth Rollins, then clearly you shouldn't be booking anybody. The open challenges work, but in moderation. I don't want to see an open challenge every fucking week. I want to see the man with the championship trying to make that championship legitimate and bring some attention and spotlight back to it. In the absence of Brock Lesnar, I want to see him in a legit title feud. I want to see somebody step up to the fucking plate, storyline-wise, and do something to Seth Rollins that shows me how bad they want the championship and try and come close to taking the championship. Could they do it? I don't know. Is Seth Rollins that good? Is he going to overcome the odds against a dastardly heel? I don't know. But is there a heel on Monday Night Raw that could even come close to making a believable program with Seth Rollins? That's the fucking problem. The answer right now is no. And I don't understand what WWE is fucking waiting for. We may be waiting until fucking pigs fly to see Bobby Roode turn heel. I've stated this for 3 fucking weeks now. If you ain't turning Bobby Roode heel, then somebody clearly is either sabotaging this man's WWE run or a complete fucking idiot. Bobby Roode is absolutely fucking get off my TV worthy at this moment, and it pains me to say that. The guy is garbage. The guy advances to Money in the Bank last night on Monday Night Raw. You think I fucking care? Of course I don't fucking care. If this was NXT Bobby Roode, I'd be fucking singing his praises. But the fact that they've portrayed Bobby Roode as a dancing, blithering fool at Backlash, doing the conga line with No Way Jose, doesn't really give me a Bobby Roode, let's get on his bandwagon type feel. Now, Bobby Roode heel, and I mean Bobby Roode the way we've seen him interact with the babyfaces down in NXT, Bobby Roode, versus Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship, that is what I would call glorious. Whatever we're getting with Bobby Roode right now is the opposite of whatever glorious is. Trash. Seth Rollins, still the best thing on Monday Night Raw. He will be. And I don't know where they go here with Seth Rollins. They don't have any babyface. The only true babyface, and if you even want to call him that at this point, because he's probably the most over fucking thing on Monday Night Raw, besides Seth Rollins, is Elias. is Elias. Now, that's something that I'd like to see. He's one of the guys that I would put in front of Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship. He's somebody that I would book to take the title off of Seth Rollins. What are they waiting for? What are they waiting for? It's like they're stalling on everyone we want to see. Want to see Bobby Roode turn heel? They won't do it. We want to see Elias capture mid-card championship gold? They won't do it. We want to see Braun Strowman being pushed to the Universal Championship over Roman Reigns? They won't do it. They want to continue pushing Roman failure after failure after failure. That's the only thing that's on these people's fucking minds. Speaking of Kevin Owens apparently, it looks to me that Kevin Owens is going to be the gateway to get Stephanie McMahon back on Monday Night Raw. Now, I don't want Stephanie McMahon anywhere near Monday Night Raw, but you can see, by the way he mentions Stephanie McMahon to Kurt Angle, that it might be leading to something at SummerSlam with Kurt Angle. I don't know. I can't really tell at this point, but every time Kevin Owens has a problem with Kurt Angle, he threatens by throwing Stephanie McMahon's name around. You need this job. I'm going to make a phone call to Stephanie. Stephanie brought me back to Monday Night Raw when you didn't want to bring me back to Monday Night Raw. I'm not sure that's something that we want, but at least it's giving Kevin Owens television time. Am I right? Roman versus Jinder. My God. My God, man. Money in the Bank. I swear to God. I hope that Chicago absolutely fucking destroys WWE for their booking decision on Roman versus Jinder. If they are this foolish to book Roman Reigns versus Jinder fucking Mahal at Money in the Bank, then WWE deserves everything that they have coming to them. No question. No question. WWE thought that they were slick. How can we get Roman Reigns over? Okay, we'll use Jinder Mahal. Everybody hates Jinder. So if we put Jinder in a feud with Roman Reigns, then they're going to be forced to cheer Roman Reigns because they hate Jinder just as much as Roman. No. And let me tell you something, you fucking clowns. It's not because it's in London. It's not because it's a smart crowd. This is how the majority of the audience feels. Nobody wants Roman. No one. WWE had Roman and Jinder brawl to open Monday Night Raw. And every offensive attack that Roman Reigns did to Jinder Mahal, he got booed. Every bit of offense that Jinder got on Roman, he was cheered. Cheered. This is the same fucking crowd last year in which Jinder lost the WWE title to AJ Styles. Not even a year later. Not even a full calendar year later, and Jinder is being cheered against Roman Reigns when he lost the WWE title back in November to AJ Styles in the same fucking building. What does that tell you? If that is not eye-opening to you, I don't know what else to fucking explain to you. This is a failure right from the very beginning. And believe it or not, we have 5 weeks to go until Money in the Bank. You mean to tell me you have faith in WWE to make you interested in a Jinder versus Roman match at Money in the Bank with nothing on the line, and then Roman ends up beating Jinder, and then all of a sudden they want to tout that Roman beat Samoa Joe and Jinder Mahal. Is he now ready for Brock Lesnar? How is beating Jinder Mahal going to position Roman Reigns for a shot at the Universal Championship? Jinder is as low as anybody on the Monday Night Raw roster. He hasn't done jack shit since coming over from SmackDown Live. Beating Jinder Mahal is like beating a fucking creative superstar in WWE 2K18. Nothing. It does nothing for anybody. I hope I hear CM Punk chants in Chicago. I hope I hear All In. I hope I hear Bullet Club chants. I hope that this crowd absolutely crucifies both men. I really do. WWE deserves every bit of backlash if this is the route that they're going. I don't understand how they could assume we are going to be interested in a Roman Jinder feud. If WWE cared about their fans at all, we wouldn't be getting this match. This is the opposite of what we want. This goes to show you that they don't give a fuck about their fans. This is tunnel vision getting Roman Reigns over. There's no one on this fucking planet that's going to be into a Roman Jinder match. Nor should you be. This is something that we feared following the shakeup. Little did we expect to get it in week 4. My God. Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax. I talked about this on Off the Script yesterday. If you missed it, link will be in the annotation you see in the top right corner. Ronda Rousey was challenged by Nia Jax for the Raw Women's Championship. Now, WWE had Rhonda come out and explain to her opponents, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, during their WrestleMania build, like, she doesn't want anything handed to her. She wants to work for everything. Yet WWE just abandons what was said in the build to that match. It's like they assume the crowd forgot. I don't forget, motherfucker. I don't forget important things that is said like that. Rhonda doesn't want preferential treatment. She wants to work for everything. She wants to work her way up the ladder. But WWE has Nia Jax challenge Ronda Rousey for a match at Money in the Bank. Why is this happening, JD? Please explain to me why this is happening. What could the possible outcome be? Well, we all know for a fucking fact 100% that Ronda Rousey isn't losing her match. There will not be a blemish on her record. If there is, what's the fucking point? What is the point? Do you honestly think WWE is going to abandon ship on Ronda Rousey plans when we all know her big moment in the sun is going to be her first singles match at WrestleMania? Now, Ronda's not going to lose. Ronda is not going to lose. Ronda may win, and she might not win the title, but Ronda is certainly not going to have an L on her record. So why is this happening? I talked about this on Off the Script. Ronda, I'm assuming, is being booked for Money in the Bank in a championship match because WWE does not have the services of a Brock Lesnar. Maybe WWE doesn't feel like the Money in the Bank match itself will sell this pay-per-view, and they need to add even more star power to the pay-per-view in the form of Ronda Rousey, who we have not seen much of. I don't want her to become a Brock Lesnar. I don't want her to be off of television and take the Women's Championship off the brand. I don't want anything similar to what we're getting with Brock, with Ronda Rousey. I hope not. I hope not. She signed a full-time performer contract, so if she does win the championship, not saying she will, I would not book her to win, if WWE, because we don't know what the fuck this company has up their sleeve. Everything that we say usually ends up being wrong anyway, because WWE wants to do what they want to do, and they love trolling the fucking fans. If she wins the championship, I believe she will be on Monday Night Raw, repeatedly. And she will be there on a full-time basis. She might not wrestle every week, which I would not do, but she will be on Monday Night Raw, at least showcasing herself as the head of the division. They want that star power. Money in the Bank now is a Big 5 pay-per-view. It's alongside the Manias and the Rumbles and the SummerSlams and the Survivor Series. So they want to make Money in the Bank big. It's in Chicago. They want to make it big. Having Rousey there fighting for her first championship is going to make ESPN headlines, and you know how much of a hard-on Vince McMahon gets for mainstream publicity. Business. Simple. It's business. How does this work storyline-wise? Clearly, we all know Ronda doesn't deserve it. and no clowns, she doesn't deserve it. Whether she was issued a challenge or she did the one who is challenging Nia Jax. Doesn't matter. She was challenged, it's undeserved. If Rhonda challenged, it's undeserved. Either way you look at it, it's undeserved. Doesn't need to be happening. So swallow the bitter pill and realize why it's happening. Business. Now, if Rhonda is in a title match, I'm assuming when we get to Money in the Bank, we'll have a better understanding of what is going to happen, possibly with the match order of Money in the Bank. I do not expect this match to go on early on the show. I expect, and if I'm booking this thing, I would put the women's Money in the Bank ladder match on first. Now, the men, I would have close the show, because that's the main event of the show. It's the whole fucking premise of the event. It's Money in the Bank. You're going to close with Money in the Bank. I would have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match open the show. Now, we don't know who's going to be in the match. There are 5 spots left open. The only ones to qualify right now are Charlotte and Ember Moon and Alexa Bliss. That's it. That's it. I would have the ladder match go on first, and then I would position the women's title match somewhere in the middle of the show. I would have Ronda Rousey not even factor in a decision. I would have either that or I would have Ronda win by DQ because of, something that Mickie James does or something to I don't know, bring us to that decision. I don't know how WWE's gonna work it, but I would have Ronda win by DQ. At the end of the match, I would have a cash-in. It could be Ember Moon. It could be maybe a Ruby Riott. Maybe Ruby Riott gets a second chance. Maybe WWE gives the women that lost already a second chance, being that they blew through all the women already on Monday Night Raw. I don't know who is left to fight over a spot for Money in the Bank, being that there's 2 spots left open on Monday Night Raw. I don't know. All I'm trying to say is I would have the ladder match first, the women's title match in the middle of the show, and a cash-in happen. Preferably a Natty Neidhart winning the Money in the Bank ladder match and cashing in and taking the title away from Ronda. Building to that program. And Ronda winning the championship sometime later in the year. Maybe at SummerSlam. There's got to be a greater story to be told here. Ronda's not getting a title shot and winning it right away. She's not. It makes absolutely no sense. And it's absolutely downright pathetic if WWE is going to give her a title shot and have her win the title in her first attempt. It's not exactly what I wanted to see. Ronda Rousey comes in, parade her around as champion right out of the gate without working for it, shitting on most of the roster. That's going to do more bad than good. It may actually get Ronda negative reaction from the crowd. We don't need another Roman in the women's division. We already have one in Charlotte. Fans are not stupid. They will see right through what WWE does. If they feel Ronda doesn't deserve it, they will sound off. This could work negatively in WWE's favor. They have to be careful. Nia Jax is an absolute abomination to the championship. She brings absolutely zero value to the women's championship. So having her as champion right now is literally doing zero for the championship and the division. It cannot get any worse than Nia Jax. So if Ronda does win it, should we really be complaining? Just based off the aspect of what we have now? It's better than Nia Jax, isn't it? If Ronda wins the title, at least someone is holding the championship that's a legitimate fighter. That can bring believability to the division. But that's the only positive I see in this thing. That and a possible setup for her first real feud. This isn't a feud. This is a one-off match that has no meaning behind it, that was made at a red carpet event for WWE to get some type of traction at this event and publicity on ESPN this morning. Ronda Rousey challenging for the Raw Women's Championship. This has to be done carefully. Either a cash-in happens and sets up Ronda's next feud, a real feud, her first feud, or Ronda wins the championship and WWE risks Ronda getting negative crowd reaction because of something that she clearly doesn't deserve yet. You know, people don't deserve anything based off their notoriety or name notoriety. It's bullshit. Have someone work for it. Have someone attain a level of success first before you start rewarding them with championships. Ridiculous. The B team. The B team on Monday Night Raw. I don't know whether to laugh or to fucking cry with the B team. The name itself is not funny. To take on the A team, it's pretty much WWE creative labeling Axel and Dallas without the crowd realizing that they're labeling them as B players. They're bench players, the bench team. They're nothing but bench players, the B team. Remember when Rhino and Slater were on SmackDown Live? And they were getting a chance to win the tag team championships and eventually won the tag team when SmackDown was good. Won the SmackDown Live tag team championships as the underdog fairy tale team, and everybody was going crazy over it. It was great. The underdogs did it. Got a great reaction. This is what I see in the B team. This is WWE trying to recreate what they did with Slater and Rhino at the start of this shakeup or this draft in 2016. Will it work? Possibly. It's one of the few things last night on Monday Night Raw that the London crowd was actually into. And I think people legitimately feel bad for Axel and Dallas. They're nothing but fucking comedy players who can actually wrestle. I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a chance. I don't know where it's going to go. I'd like to get behind an underdog team. There's not really underdogs on Monday Night Raw. So this could be their version of the Cinderella story that they want to tell on Monday Night Raw. I don't know. Could be entertaining. I'm not going to immediately shit all over it. But at least they are moving away from the Miz Tourage and coming out to the Miz's theme music. And they have some sort of their own identity going on. They got their own theme music. They're on Monday Night Raw. They're being positioned in a tag team storyline right now. I guess it's okay. They have television time. If they weren't getting television time like the Authors of Pain, then maybe I'd be concerned. Speaking of which, 3 weeks in a row now, the Authors of Pain have not been on Monday Night Raw. Can I ask WWE management, why the fuck did you bring up the Authors of Pain to begin with if they haven't been on Monday Night Raw for 3 straight weeks? If you're only going to put them in matches on Main Event with Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil? Why bring them up from NXT and stop their momentum down in NXT to have them wrestle on the main roster, off television, on Main Event, which nobody watches? Are they going to fall into the same boat that the Revival and the Ascension have fallen into? Because I hope not. I truly hope not. And then I have people on social media asking me, well, if that's the only thing that you're concerned with, then consider yourself lucky. No, it's not the only thing I'm concerned with on Monday Night Raw, clearly. Clearly. This show is an abomination in itself. It's just one of those things that I've noticed over the last 3 weeks. They appeared on Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, and then after that, we seen them one more time the following week, and then after that, they disappeared. They got rid of Paul Ellering, and they have been nowhere to be seen on Monday Night Raw. This is a dominant tag team that WWE has in their possession. You look at the Revival, man. I want to cry for the Revival. And this goes to show you how WWE doesn't give a fuck about tag team wrestling. The Revival were putting on the best tag team matches that I personally have ever seen with DIY. They come to the main roster and they're stopped because of issues beyond their control. Both of them get injured at different times. Stops their momentum. They're finally healthy again and WWE doesn't give a shit about them. If anybody needed to move to SmackDown Live, it was them. They are dying a miserable death on Monday Night Raw. They don't even get an entrance anymore. They get the jobber entrance, where they come back from commercial and they're standing in the ring with the last 5 seconds of their theme music playing. Meanwhile, these guys were all over NXT showing you how tag team wrestling needs to be revived. Hence, the Revival. Now they're nothing but Titus Catering VIPs. You know, I mentioned on the shakeup, being that SmackDown Live has all this talent, like Andrade and Nakamura and Styles and Bryan and Joe and Randy Orton, that you don't need to have these guys on the show every single week. I understand that. But when you see a team or a newcomer from NXT brought up, showcased 1 week, and then off television for 3 straight weeks, that is sheer laziness. And it worries me because I'm a big advocate for tag team wrestling. How could you have nothing for the Authors of Pain? Meanwhile, they were in every major tag team storyline down in NXT for a year and a half. I don't understand that. There's a revolving door that I said WWE should do. 1 week on, 1 week off. You have 3 hours of fucking television. I'd much rather see the Authors of Pain than the Revival at this point, being that they're brand new. I'd rather see them than Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. That fucking team seems to be dead. 1 week on, 1 week off. If you're booking them for 3 straight weeks with nothing to do, that doesn't seem like they have a bright future on Monday Night Raw whatsoever. Just something that I noticed. Or maybe I'm wishing upon a fucking star somewhere. Maybe they're off television because they got bigger plans in store for them, like pairing them with Roman Reigns, which apparently people were tweeting me is being talked about at Titan Tower in Stamford, Connecticut. I doubt it, but maybe. Maybe they're being repackaged and reimaged to be placed with Roman when the time is right. One could only hope. Braun Strowman. What has WWE done to Braun Strowman, people? Really, what have they done to Braun Strowman? Wins a 50-man Royal Rumble. Before that, in one of the worst WrestleMania moments in history, taking in a 10-year-old kid from the audience and burying the bar at WrestleMania, winning the tag team championships. Braun Strowman wins a 50-man Royal Rumble, and ever since he won that greatest Royal Rumble, he's been in tag team matches every single week, whether it's a 6-man tag with Lashley and Reigns, or teaming with Bobby Lashley in meaningless matches against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Last night, teaming with Finn Balor. What is with teaming Braun Strowman up with every other babyface on Monday Night Raw? What have you done to the monster among men? Slowly but surely, WWE is turning the monster into the pussy among men. This is Braun Strowman. This is WWE's vision for Braun Strowman in 2018. The monster who teams with all other babyfaces. Do you know how much I wanted to fucking vomit when I seen Braun Strowman do his fucking brawn with Finn Balor mimicking him standing side by side? What an awful fucking image. That's your monster. A guy who wins a 50-man Royal Rumble, has 13 fucking eliminations, is serenaded by the fucking Prince of Saudi Arabia, given a trophy and a title belt for his effort, has made no mention about being the monster on Monday Night Raw, about deserving a championship match, about wanting to fight Brock Lesnar once again for the Universal Championship. He has to step aside because Roman has a clear linear path to Brock Lesnar, and Braun Strowman is fucking teaming with Smiley Finn. Smiley Finn. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Braun Strowman supposed to be a monster who doesn't want to team with anybody? Now he's standing next to Smiley Finn. You know, if this was 2017, the 2017 version of Braun Strowman would look at the 2018 version of Braun Strowman and say, bro, what the fuck is going on here? Who are you? What are you doing? The 2017 version, Braun Strowman, would throw the 2018 version off a fucking loading dock. He would kick the 2018 version's ass. This ain't fucking Braun Strowman. If this is your portrayal of Braun Strowman going into SummerSlam, I don't even want to fucking see him anymore. You have taken one of the best parts of this show and watered it down to tag team wrestling. He's not destroying anything anymore. He's not destroying anybody anymore. He ain't wrecking havoc on Monday Night Raw. Now we have to be saddled down and tortured with Jinder versus Roman. Yet Monday Night Raw was so great. It's so great every single fucking week, right? Give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. This show last night was absolutely dreadful. Sleep-inducing garbage. These shows lack so much creativity. They're lifeless fucking shows. And what is with the triple threat matches every single week? I got the fucking people defending this garbage. Oh, it makes it unpredictable. Unpredictable? A triple threat match is supposed to be one of those things that is supposed to be something that you don't see that often. But you're putting everybody in a triple threat match. Every match last night was a triple threat match or a tag team match. It's not something I want to see every fucking week. We seen this last week. It was a rinse and repeat of last week. Every fucking women's match is a tag team match or a triple threat match. You ran through most of your women's roster to qualify on Monday Night Raw side of Money in the Bank. Who's left? Who's left? Dana Brooke? Watch next week. We get Natty versus Dana Brooke to qualify for Money in the Bank. I don't know who could watch this and be pleased with what's going on. And then you wonder why All In sold out in 29 fucking minutes. Because people are fucking sick of generic garbage. WWE has Money in the Bank coming up and they're making it as unexciting as possibly be. It's sad. It's sad. At least we have Andrade Cien Almas to look forward to tonight. Maybe he qualifies for Money in the Bank. Because right now I ain't impressed with anybody that's in Money in the Bank. This show sucked. I want to read you guys something here that is laughable. Being that he opened the show with Kurt Angle. Roman Reigns was interviewed by Sun Sport in the UK, in London, on Monday, right before Raw. The question that he was asked was how he can combat the negative fan reaction to him every single week. This is his answer. This is his answer. He completely avoided the fucking question. Because he doesn't have a real answer as to what he can do. He can't do anything. I quote, "I think the way I can fight is to just continue doing what I do. To continue and show up. What I and everyone in WWE thinks is to go out there and work hard and continue to show why I am the guy." Really now. So what you and everyone in the WWE thinks is to go out there and continue to work hard. Let me tell you something, Roman. They don't give a fuck how hard you work. They don't give a shit about anything that you do, let alone your work in the ring. He continues on to say, "It's not easy doing this every single day, going to every single town, getting a reaction. And that's what I do regardless of whether it's all cheers, a mixed reaction, or heavy boos. We have to look at it as a global company. We're just not worried about one town that we're in. We're covering our entire fan base. The WWE universe is huge. We have to keep that in mind. You know, the funny thing is, it's just not one town. It's every town you visit, no matter if it's in the States or abroad. That is the most political fucking... He was probably given a script for that answer. If they ask you how you're going to deal with the negative fan reaction, be prepared with this answer. That sounded like the biggest fucking crock of shit I've ever heard. I've never heard a more robotic fucking answer than that. Ridiculous. You can't combat anything. The only way to combat it is to embrace it. Embrace the hate. Raw results. Show started off with Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle denying Roman Reigns another Money in the Bank qualifying match.
Last week I got robbed. And this time it wasn't by WWE management. This time it was by Jinder Mahal.
Cheers.
So I'm gonna cut right to the chase. Jinder, if you wanna be more relevant than you've ever been in your entire career, then come out here to my yard and face me like a man.
Well, he's right on that. He will be more relevant than he has been in his entire career, but not for the right reasons. Not for the right reasons.
Since when did you start speaking for Jinder?
I don't speak for Jinder. I speak for WWE management. When I denied Jinder the opportunity to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match, I was thinking emotionally. I was wrong. As a leader, I should be thinking logically. That's what's best for business. Jinder is a former WWE champion, and tonight he will have the opportunity to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match when he's in a triple threat match against Elias and Bobby Lashley.
Add me in, make it a fatal four-way. I'll beat Jinder, and then I'll qualify for Money in the Bank. Perfect.
That's not gonna happen either. WWE management has made it perfectly clear that you will have no more qualifying opportunities.
Blah, blah, WWE management. This is fucking terrible, dude.
I know how you feel. This sucks, okay? You got screwed last week. I mean, you got screwed against Brock Lesnar when the ref made a bad judgment call at Greatest Royal Rumble. I don't blame you if you're upset with me.
I get it. You got a family, you got a job to do, and at the end of the day, you're just doing what you have to do.
Thank you. I know that
And now, I'm gonna go and do what I have to do.
Not exactly sure what that means, but
I think we're about to find out.
So lame, man. It is so lame how they continue pushing that WWE management is trying to hold him back, not give him another shot at Brock Lesnar, not give him another opportunity to qualify for Money in the Bank. Does anybody believe this? Is anybody this gullible to believe that WWE management is holding him back after we just seen him the last 4 years main event WrestleMania? I don't understand the fucking thinking of people. How could you ever believe that this guy is being held down when he's been given the keys to the kingdom for the last 4 years? It is so lame And people are not stupid. They see right through this veil. And at Money in the Bank, it's going to blow up in their face, as always, again. In a match that nobody is interested in at all in seeing. That's the way they open Monday Night Raw. So, they go to the back, and Reigns finds Mahal, and they start brawling in the back. They punch each other. They start brawling in the back. Jinder gets sent into a wall. They got thrown onto a snack table that had nothing but chips and popcorn and bananas. So Titus Catering needed to be present. He needed to show you that. Listen, we got organic bananas and organic popcorn in catering tonight for a light snack. Gets thrown onto the catering table. Reigns dives into a production case. And he jams it into Jinder's midsection. Reigns nails a Superman punch. They come out to the stage and nails a Superman punch, which looked awful, by the way. My God, it's so fucking lame. And with every offensive attack that Reigns got on Jinder, he was being booed. So Jinder retreats. Officials come to break it up. Fans were chanting, Roman sucks. I really couldn't hear it. I think WWE kind of edited the sound last night, being that it was a tape show. And that's the way Monday Night Raw started off. Very, very uneventful start to Monday Night Raw, and something that we're not looking forward to going into Money in the Bank. Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Open challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. This was a very good television match, man. Just like the match he had last week. And everything that he's done since he's won the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, he even brought Mojo Rawley to a decent television match. So, Rollins is doing big things right now, man. He is as hot as he has ever been right now. Somebody actually made mention on social media that it would be great if they get off this fucking Roman Reigns dick train and give Rollins the shot at Brock Lesnar. We have a legitimate champion versus champion match at SummerSlam. Can you imagine if Rollins builds up the Intercontinental Championship to a point where, you know, it's the biggest title outside of the Universal title in Brock Lesnar's absence, and we got champion versus champion at SummerSlam, Lesnar versus Rollins, and Rollins wins? I mean, I think a lot of people would be on board with that. That'd be the first time we've seen that in a very, very long time at a major event like a SummerSlam. Seth Rollins wins here, man. Great television match. Rollins went to the top for a frog splash. Owens gets his knees up. Owens with a 2 count there. Owens goes back up top. Rollins cuts him off with a forearm. Owens knocks Rollins back down. Rollins then runs back up and goes for the superplex, but Owens counters it into a package suplex or a package brainbuster off the second rope. It was a great spot. Owens goes for the pin, but Rollins rolls out to the floor to create separation. Owens brings Rollins back into the ring. Rollins quickly nails the stomp as Owens is trying to get back into the ring. Rollins covers, pins him, and retains the championship, man. Very, very good match here between these two. There was a spot in this match as well where there was a Falcon's Arrow on Kevin Owens from Rollins on the ring apron. Very, very good spot. There was also a spot where Rollins did a suicide dive. Now, he didn't go full steam like he usually does, but he did a suicide dive. Rollins was caught as he flew through the ropes. Owens caught him on the shoulders and threw him into the steel post. Very, very good television match, man. Easily one of the highlights of Monday Night. One of the few highlights, I should say, of Monday Night Raw. But Rollins wins and retains the Intercontinental Championship. I don't know if there's going to be an open challenge next week. This match was made on social media a couple of days before Monday Night Raw. So whatever they're doing with Seth Rollins right now, the fans are eating it up. I just hope that they don't beat this open challenge idea into the ground. And if it does continue, I hope one of these guys that comes out next week has a full-fledged storyline feud with Seth Rollins. Whether it's Ambrose coming back, whether it's Jason Jordan, we'll see what happens. But Rollins right now, the hottest thing on WWE television. Now, Angle is backstage on the phone with, I'm presuming Stephanie McMahon. Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas walk in. They say Rousey versus Jax is going to be epic, but let's cut to the chase. They want a Raw Tag Team title shot. Axel says that they are standing on their own 2 feet after The Miz left. Axel says that they are now going to be called the A-Team. But Angle says that's the name of a TV show and they can't use it. Bo proposes they be called the B-Team, and Angle says that's a stupid name. They go on, and Angle chuckles, saying he loves their ambition, but they haven't won a tag team match ever on Monday Night Raw to deserve a tag team title shot. And they recently lost to the champions in a non-title match. Angle says he won't put them in a title shot, but he will book the B-Team in a match tonight if they promise to leave him alone. They say they won't let him down and rush off, celebrating that they have a match and celebrating that they have a new name. Wow. This is Monday Night Raw in 2018, folks. Such compelling television. Money in the Bank qualifying match. What else? A triple threat match. No Way Jose, Bobby Roode, and Baron Corbin. No Way Jose and Baron Corbin have this little mini feud going on. Bobby Roode was part of the conga line. So I'm guessing why not put all three of them in a triple threat match. Again, engaging, intriguing television there, WWE Creative. Wow, I am amazed at such creativity on Raw. Bobby Roode wins this match. I mean, listen, I'm not going to shit all over the match. All three guys worked hard, okay? But I couldn't give a single fuck about any one of these guys. I didn't want any one of these guys to win. In fact, I would rather have had No Way Jose win the match and be in Money in the Bank. That's what the Money in the Bank briefcase is catered to. Why would I want to see Bobby Roode win this match when his gimmick is terrible right now? Not so much the gimmick, but he's being miscast. And Baron Corbin, why would I ever want to see him with a Money in the Bank briefcase after what happened to him last time? Cash in, 10 seconds, lost. I would have much rather had No Way Jose win this match. Bobby Roode wins this match. Corbin big boots No Way Jose. Corbin comes and chokeslams Jose on his knee. Goes for a 2 count. Corbin elbows Jose. Roode comes in. Counters a chokeslam from Corbin. Rolls him up for a 2 count. Corbin catches Roode in a deep 6 for another 2 count. Jose breaks that up. Corbin rams Jose back into the corner and drops Roode in the opposite corner. Corbin splashes Jose, but Roode sidesteps, and Corbin goes out to the floor. This leads Bobby Roode to hitting the glorious DDT on No Way Jose for the pin and a spot in Money in the Bank. I don't really give a shit, and it pains me to say that about Bobby Roode. I just don't care, and I'm assuming you guys really didn't give a shit either. Breezango versus the B-Team. B-Team ends up winning here. Breeze pulls Bo off the apron. Bo takes him out, sends him into the barricade. Fandango comes off the top, misses, and Axel moves. Axel ends up dropping Breeze and tags in Bo for a double team finisher and a shock victory. Axel on the outside looking shocked that Bo Dallas got the win. B-Team wins. B-Team on a winning streak. After the match, Axel and Dallas can't believe they won. They start celebrating. Charlie Caruso interviews the B-Team in the ring. Axel says that this just really happened. Bo says they did it. They won. Anything is possible for the B-Team. Axel sends a warning to the Raw Tag Team Champions, Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. We're the B-Team and we're coming for the titles. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the son of Mr. Perfect surprised that he won a match? I'm surprised I have to be watching this fucking garbage every single week on Monday Night Raw. Ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. We go from one tag team match to another tag team match. A women's tag team match. It wouldn't be Monday Night Raw if JD wasn't complaining about a fucking 6-woman tag. The Riot Squad versus Sasha Banks, Natalya, and Ember Moon. And believe it or not, I've liked Ruby Riott. I think Ruby Riott's been one of the best things about Monday Night Raw since she's come over. She had great matches. She had great matches with Bayley, great matches with Sasha Banks. But the Riot Squad, I couldn't give a single fuck about them. I love me some Sasha Banks. Really don't give a shit about Natalya at this point. Ember Moon, one of my favorite females on the roster. But a 6-woman tag, really, you don't need to have everybody featured on the show. You don't need to have tag team matches on every fucking segment. So it's the babyfaces versus the heels here, and the babyfaces win. Natalya, Ember Moon, and Sasha Banks win. So we get back and forth here. It's just chaos because of the Riot Squad. And Liv with a big enziguri, if you want to call it that, from Liv Morgan. A big enziguri. 2 count, Ember Moon breaks it up. Logan takes out Ember. Logan gets sent to the floor. Banks with double knees to Logan. I hate when Michael Cole thinks he sounds cool now by just exclaiming, oh, Meteora by Sasha Banks. Yes, Michael Cole, you know a fucking wrestling move. Wow. So Banks with the double knees to Logan off the apron. Ember Moon runs the ropes. She nails a big dive. Ember Moon has the best suicide dive of all the females on the roster. 2 Ruby Riott on the floor. Natalya comes in, counters Liv, and applies the sharpshooter for the win. So the babyfaces win here, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt versus The Revival. The Revival are buried on Monday Night Raw. Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy have a new finisher. They call it the Kiss of Deletion. It's a double, I assume, a double team Sister Abigail-like move. At least they fucking switched it up. Because, Sister Abigail thrown into a twist of fate is not really a fucking finishing move. So I don't understand what the fuck was going on, or whatever the fuck they had before that. That wheelbarrow twist of fate move that they were doing looked absolutely god awful. This is a little bit better. Now we need to work on their entrance. Because having them come out to Matt's theme and then switch to Bray's theme, and then when they get in the ring go back to Matt's theme, really isn't a tag team. That's just a lack of creativity. But Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt win here over the Revival. What else did you expect? Sami Zayn is in the ring, and he died 1,000 deaths in this promo, and I love me some Sami Zayn. I think he's fantastic in his heel role. But he comes to the ring and he talks about exposing the truth about Bobby Lashley next week. He's going to expose Bobby Lashley to the world, and he's going to bring Bobby Lashley's 3 sisters to Monday Night Raw. Jessica, Francis, and Kathy. So he can expose Bobby Lashley for what he really is. This has Bayley, This Is Your Life written all over it. We may be looking at the worst segment next week of Monday Night Raw in 2018. And that's exactly what everybody wants to see. Bobby Lashley, who has no charisma. He is an uncharismatic clown. He is vanilla as they come, feuding with Sami Zayn. I beg to question, who do you think is going to be over in this feud? Is it going to be Bobby Lashley, who nobody gives a fuck about after that ultimate cringe-like promo that he cut with Renee Young last week? Or is it the much more charismatic, entertaining Sami Zayn? This has disaster written all over it. Another triple threat match. Qualifying match for Money in the Bank. Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James versus Bayley. Alexa Bliss wins here. I wonder why. Bayley's in the doghouse. Mickie James has the library fucking treatment with her fucking entrance. Not a single fucking peep. You could have sat there and read a whole fucking novel in pure silence when Mickie James came out. Poor Mickie James. Alexa Bliss wins here. Bliss goes for a big DDT, and she gets the win here. I don't really give a shit. Bayley with a Bayley to belly on Bliss. Mickie pulls her out of the ring. Mickie covers Bliss for a 2 count, but Bayley pulls her out. They trade shots on the floor. Mickie goes down and Bayley returns to the ring. Bliss meets her with a big right hand and a DDT. She pins Bayley and advances to Money in the Bank. God awful. So there's Alexa Bliss and Charlotte in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Who would have thought? 2 blondes, 2 WWE blondes in the Money in the Bank ladder match. You know how WWE loves their blondes, right? Sasha Banks and Bayley? Nah, fuck them. Fuck them! Who needs them in Money in the Bank? Ridiculous, man. Anyway, moving on here. Finn Balor and Braun Strowman versus Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. Attention to detail here, people. Attention to detail. They had Dolph Ziggler come out first and then Drew McIntyre. Do you know how well their intro flowed with just a sheer change of who comes out first? Drew McIntyre's music is fucking beast. And I'm there looking at Drew McIntyre and I'm like, my God, does this guy look like a fucking wrestler? Does he look like a champion? I feel bad for Dolph, man. Standing next to Drew McIntyre, this guy looks absolutely as unimportant as they come. But this was actually an entertaining match, man. Aside from Braun Strowman teaming with Smiley Finn, you know, the guy who lost his balls somewhere after he came back from injury. Now we got him doing fucking Braun, standing next to him side by side. God awful. Not exactly what I want from your monster on Monday Night Raw. Is Braun a monster, or are you transforming him into a pussy? Because we already have one of those in Finn Balor on Monday Night Raw. There was a really, really exciting part of this match where McIntyre asked to be tagged in. He asked to be tagged in. And he's just standing there, circling around Braun Strowman, and he's yelling, big man, I waited for this moment. I've wanted this moment. Are you ready for me? He says. I'm like, holy shit. Holy shit, look at this, man. I actually stopped what I was doing and I watched. McIntyre is just as tall as Braun Strowman. Very nice sight to see McIntyre circling Braun Strowman on Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler win here, man. This was probably the other best thing about Monday Night Raw last night. There was an instance in this match where Braun runs over Ziggler and knocks Drew off the apron. Braun clubs Ziggler back to the mat with a big shot to the chest. Fans chant for Strowman as he gets hyped up in the corner. Braun charges, but Ziggler moves and Braun runs right into the ring post. Something we're seeing a little bit too much of lately. Balor tags in, takes Ziggler down to the mat with a kick to the gut. More back and forth now. Balor with a jumping enziguri in the corner. Balor brings Ziggler back down to the mat for a 2 count as Drew breaks up the pin. Balor drops Drew off the apron, but Ziggler rolls him up for a 2. Balor then hits a sling blade to Ziggler. Strowman down on the outside. Balor charges and hits the corner dropkick, the missile dropkick in the corner on Ziggler. Balor goes to the top, but Drew grabs his leg. Balor kicks him away. Braun comes running around the ring and sends Drew flying into the timekeeper's area, and the greatest Royal Rumble trophy, which I don't even know why is on display anymore, it's standing there, propped up by the timekeeper's area. Drew McIntyre is bowled over like a fucking, like a little man as Braun Strowman is rolling into him, charges into him. Drew goes flying into the timekeeper's area, and the trophy is destroyed. I can't imagine Vince McMahon being happy about that. The trophy was fucking cut in half with the impact of Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman, man. Literally, an LOL moment. That trophy was fucking destroyed. This allows Ziggler to take the advantage of Balor in the ring. Distraction for what happened on the outside. Rolls Balor up in the ring for the pin. McIntyre and Ziggler beat Braun Strowman and Finn Balor, and that is only a good thing for this pairing. As we talked about on Off the Script, McIntyre and Ziggler are a Vince McMahon idea. How well is this going to go on? Or how well is this going to be? How long is this going to go on for? That remains to be seen. But right now, I'm loving what these two guys are doing. I think McIntyre, his run right now, whatever he's doing on Monday Night Raw, just his sheer presence, the way he is right now on Monday Night Raw, trumps whatever he did in his first run with WWE. Can't wait to see more of McIntyre. In the main event, we got Bobby Lashley and Elias and a mystery opponent. We had Jinder supposed to be in this match. Now, Jinder was being attended to by doctors. Roman all of a sudden waits for Jinder to come out of the doctor's room, and he waits for him to walk in the hallway. Roman spears Jinder through a quote-unquote wall. Now, when they showed this over and over and over again, as if it's some fucking massive thing, right? You look at the wall, and it was literally, and I mean literally, made with cardboard. He speared Roman speared Jinder through a wall that was made of the same material that you used on your 5th grade science project at the science fair. You know, when your parents come and everybody gathers in the auditorium to look at all the 5th grade science projects, and you got the fucking diorama of the volcano with the fucking foam coming out of it, and you got your presentation on the fucking table there, and you got your tri-folded cardboard, right, with all the fucking notes of, oh, this is this, and, you know, volcanic eruptions are caused by this, and Roman is fucking garbage, he will never be over, the guy's a fucking failure, Roman is a science experiment, gone failure. That's what the fucking wall was made out of. Gotta see it on WWE's YouTube. I gotta see it on their Twitter. I gotta see it on their Instagram. Roman spearing Jinder Mahal through this fucking cardboard wall. That's what it was made out of. Your 5th grade cardboard tri-folded science project. Either that or it was made with fucking Domino's pizza boxes or Guinness 6-pack cardboard. Fucking ridiculous. Okay, he speared him through the wall. Let's give him a fucking a prize and a fucking and a medal for his good deed. So what does this do? This takes Jinder out of the fucking match. I can't wrestle like this. You gotta suspend Roman. You gotta take him out. Everybody thinks Roman's gonna be put in the match now. No. Remember when I told you Kevin Owens and Kurt Angle getting into it? Him threatened to call Stephanie McMahon? Well, Stephanie was on the phone with Kurt. She says, listen, I found the replacement for Jinder Mahal. Kurt Angle's like, I got a great replacement. You're going to love him. He's a great superstar. Stephanie's like, well, I got somebody ready. And that somebody is Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens advances to Money in the Bank, which shows me, at least WWE is definitely going to be giving some second chance opportunities. I mean, the men's side on Monday Night Raw is filled up. We'll probably have the rest of SmackDown filled up tonight. But I could see some second chance coming for the women. If they're giving Kevin Owens a second chance, more than likely they're going to be giving other people second chances as well. So, this match, I mean, really wasn't anything all that impressive. The only thing that stood out in this match was the fact that Lashley is fucking boring. There's nothing about Bobby Lashley that is even remotely entertaining. The only thing that Bobby Lashley did in this match was show some of his athleticism, which I know he is. There was a spot where he got really, really high. He had massive ups for a leapfrog that he did. And that was the only impressive thing in the entire match from Bobby Lashley. The only other thing in this match was Elias and how over he is. And he actually ushered over JoJo. JoJo's fat ass, man. We seen a lot of JoJo's fat ass on Monday Night Raw last night, wearing that tight yellow outfit. I don't know why she gained so much weight. I guess Bray Wyatt likes his women plump. I don't fucking know. Maybe it makes her ass a little bit more juicy and plumpy and firm. I don't fucking know. Sure, Bray Wyatt's having a fucking grand old time wherever he goes with that. But there was an instance where Elias sat down on the apron after the match kind of took a little halt. He tells JoJo to come over, and he's like, I want to sing. You know? And he is standing there with JoJo holding the microphone up to the guitar, and he's strumming some chords. So, all of a sudden, we get Owens going up to Lashley, hits him from behind. Elias gets Owens on his shoulders, and he brings him down for a big power bomb. Lashley breaks up the pin. Lashley grabs Elias, and they go back and forth. Elias and Lashley go back and forth. Lashley looks to put Elias away. Sami Zayn all of a sudden comes down, pulls Lashley to the floor. At least they have some storyline continuation here. Sami Zayn fucking over Lashley, sending him into the steel ring post. Sami hits a haluva kick on Lashley, takes him out of the match. Owens recovers on the floor, goes up to the top for a bullfrog splash on Elias, and pins Elias to get into Money in the Bank. So, Kevin Owens is in Money in the Bank. Bobby Roode, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and Kevin Owens are in Money in the Bank for Monday Night Raw. Meanwhile, Elias and Roman don't have spots in Money in the Bank. Very interesting. What is Elias going to be doing at Money in the Bank? He's clearly one of the most over guys on the roster. And everybody was touting, oh, the briefcase would look great on Elias. He's not even in the Money in the Bank briefcase match. What are they going to do with him? Unreal. Kevin Owens gets the victory. He goes on to Money in the Bank. After the match, Sami and Kevin Owens celebrate on the ramp. Lashley's still down at ringside. And Raw goes off the air with the ending of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens celebrating. And that was your Monday Night Raw. Nothing really, to talk about. It's just dead. It feels lifeless. These storylines, it feels like they're being written in crayon by fucking 3-year-olds. And I'm not looking forward to next week. They're in the godforsaken city of fucking Albany. I'll piss on Albany. Ridiculous, man. So, Monday Night Raw, another piss-poor effort in London. One of the worst crowds I've ever seen, but I can't blame them. The show was god-awful. The show was putting everybody to sleep. And I think everybody across the board thought Monday Night Raw was boring last night. There really is nothing going into Money in the Bank that is exciting at this point. The only thing I'm looking forward to right now for Money in the Bank is what's happening on SmackDown. I don't want anybody on Monday Night Raw to win Money in the Bank. I'm looking for The Miz and possibly Andrade Cien Almas to advance to Money in the Bank tonight. SmackDown Live has much more intriguing options for Money in the Bank. So we might get Almas advancing to Money in the Bank tonight, which I hope. The Miz is there. And we're going to get a Big E, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, Sheamus, or Cesaro inclusion in Money in the Bank as well. Because tonight it's going to be The Bar versus The New Day. And one member of the winning team will advance into Money in the Bank. So we'll see what happens on SmackDown Live tonight. I'm not really excited about anything. And that's your Monday Night Raw review. Who cares? If you guys missed Off the Script yesterday, please go and check it out. WWE announces Ronda Rousey's title shot at Money in the Bank. I give you everything I heard and my thoughts immediately on the topic. So if you guys want to go check that, plus all the other topics, a lot of stories in Off the Script yesterday, go and check it out. Already at 20,000 views and counting, almost 1,400 likes. You guys are beasts. Thank you guys so much. I'll be back tonight, definitely for SmackDown Live. We'll talk about SmackDown Live tonight. NXT tomorrow. I should have some live streams with God of War or Fortnite. One or the other this week. My time is going to be strapped because I do have House of Glory on Friday. Usually they take place on Saturday, so being that it's taking place on Friday, I'm going to have to push everything that I usually do ahead, and I have to record Off the Script early because I won't be able to do it on Friday. So it's going to be one of those weeks when I'm a little strapped for time, but we'll get everything done. SmackDown tonight, NXT tomorrow. We'll take it day by day. Thank you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the review. Hit that thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206 and hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that bell for all notifications. See you guys tonight for Andrade Cien Almas' debut on SmackDown Live and the final members of the SmackDown side for Money in the Bank. I'll talk to you later.